the reality is that we, as a community of examining psychologists, police psychologists, pass and qualify a lot of people that wind up engaging in some very bad behavior, including sexual misconduct. It is a significant problem nationally. There are no less than 450 police officers a year decertified because of sexual misconduct, and that's just the ones that we know about. And they range from rape, homicide at the high end, to exploiting the power to stop a motorist and to ask them questions and look at their driver's license simply in order for a police officer to meet a charming female driver.
And hasn't that always been the case?
Don't know if it's always been the case or not, but it's a serious problem, and the entire span, the entire range is problematic. So in the materials that I have provided you on sexual exploitation, I've tried to include some information that describes the nature of the problem, that is, the various ways in which sexual exploitation takes place, in very far-ranging behaviors. The data with respect to sexual exploitation of police officers or sexual misconduct of police officers, the literature itself, and elsewhere I have an article or chapter written in the National Institute of Justice's latest publication on disciplinary issues in police officers, in which I discuss sexual misconduct, and you can download that from the internet. I'm happy to give you the link to that. And so these issues are discussed in more depth in that chapter as well. So I'm not going to spend any more time with that, because in about 15 minutes we really ought to be at fitness for duty evaluations.
Didn't you do some early research on sexual misconduct in police officers?
Just establishing the fact that it was the single biggest reason for termination of police officers. Yeah.
So Mike Roberts with San Diego Purpose just said that in his study at San Jose Police Department, he found that it's the #1 most common reason for serious disciplinary issues,
No,
or termination. For termination.
Yeah. It's not just San Jose. We did it also in an IACP-funded study of agencies in the Southeast as well, and the same thing. It's nationwide.
Now, I would add this, that one way to begin developing your own competence in assessing for sexual misconduct is to begin inquiring about sexual behavioral history that may be relevant. That can include everything from porn addictions to engaging in inappropriate sexual contact, to leading sexual shadow lives, that is, lives of sexual behavior where the people known to them, the people they live with, don't know anything about it. And that's part of a problem of living a shadow life, is that whether it's a sexual affair or whether it's having essentially a second family, as some people have, is that it becomes habitual, and it often gets reflected in leading a shadow life as a police officer. I want to be careful because I don't have time. We don't have time to go off on side avenues.
I just want to know if it's pre or post.
Post.
Thank you.
I don't have any interview at the pre-offer stage. Okay, so yeah. So let's. The interview is done vicariously. The interview at the pre-offer stage is done by the background investigator, and they provide that information to me. So an interview is done. It's just not done by me.